All right, so Blayne, why Illinois for Coach Bielema?
Playing in the Big Ten is a dream of mine, and it all kind of worked out at the right time for me. Previously being committed to SIU, everything just worked out timing-wise, and I'm gonna bet on myself and play at the highest level possible, and see how it works out for me.
You were a quarterback in high school. Now, what do they plan to utilize you in college?
So we're thinking more safety or receiver. It really depends on how the room is. It's with me being very versatile. They're comfortable with if they bring in an extra receiver, try me out of safety a little bit. Bring an extra receiver, and we'll just see how that works out. But no, offense or defense, I'm gonna give it my all.
You mentioned how this is your dream school to go to. The decommitment from SIU Carbondale to Illinois. What was that like for you, knowing that you made a tough decision though?
It was probably the biggest decision of my life, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to look back 10 years from now and regret, not taking a chance on playing the highest level of football possible. It's the Big Ten and SEC most years, and you got big teams like Michigan, Ohio State in there, and I'm gonna be having a chance to play them, and it's a dream of mine. So I'm excited.
Coming off of playing in a state championship game for high school, how do you feel like you're ready for the Big Ten level for the toughness?
I'd say I'm relatively a tough kid. It's going to be a whole different type of football there. It's going to be a lot of getting used to stuff, but I'm going to come in with the mindset, same as I did in high school. It's just you gotta know you're good when you walk on the field. You're there for a reason. At the end of the day, you just got to try your hardest, and once you give it your all, you got nothing to look bad on.
At the D1 level, what does it mean to you to get to play D1 in general, but also 7% of high school athletes play college sports, and you're one of the 7%?
It's a blessing for sure. God has blessed me with a gift to be able to play football after high school, and it's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. So I'm super excited to see where this takes me. And not only am I going to be able to play football, I'm getting an education paid for, and that's the main thing to me.
Education-wise, what are you going to major in, and what made you choose that?
I'll be majoring in business administration. So I took a class last year called CEO, and it kind of opened me up to the business side of the world, and kind of fell in love with that aspect of it. I'm wanting to bring business and healthcare together and become a healthcare administrator for hopefully physical therapy or sports medicine, somewhere around that area. But especially with a degree from Illinois, it's a big deal to a lot of companies and businesses. So it'll look good. So
when did you realize you had D1 potential, but also playing college football? When was your interest in it really growing a lot?
I knew from a young age I had the potential to. My dad actually played Division I baseball, and he got drafted before I was born to play baseball. But I knew I kind of had the genetics to do it. I didn't know, at a young age I wasn't very mentally tough, and I kind of realized it around, let's say, 7th, 8th grade that I can actually do something with this, and I made my dreams come to reality. So
not only at the quarterback position, but wide receiver position, you can play you're a dual threat player. How do you feel like that'll help you out in college as well?
I think when they're looking for someone to put out there anywhere, it's just kind of like, okay, throw him out there. He's gonna do his job. He's athletic enough. He's fast enough. He's strong enough to be out there, and we can trust him wherever we put him. And I take plays in really well. I'm smart when it comes to the football side of things. I make reads fairly well, and if they want to throw me in at quarterback, receiver, safety, I'm open to just being on the field.
So Coach Brewer, what has he meant to you as far as getting you to the next level?
Coach Brewer is like a father figure to me. Him and I had a relationship not a lot of players and coaches have. We spend a lot of time together outside of football. I'm in his room. I'm in his room for an hour a day, every single day. We're watching film, just talking about life, and being a mentor for me. Not only that, like he's led me into my relationship with Jesus Christ too, and it's meant a big thing to me to have a role model like that, not a coach who doesn't really care about anybody's future. He's been my biggest supporter. He's went to visit Illinois with me before, and it means a lot to have somebody like that on your side.
Coach Brewer, what is Bielema and Coach at Illinois, what are they getting in Blayne Sisson?
A dynamic athlete, terrific with the ball in his hands, somebody who's instinctive, does a great job playing the ball as a receiver. And again, I think just when he's in space, he's at his best. So, as an athlete and as a football player, I think that's what they're getting. And as a young man, an even better kid, somebody that is mature and a kid with great character and does the right things. So I think he'll be a good addition all the way around.
His leadership is second to none, but also a dual threat player. He can play quarterback, he can play wide receiver. How do you feel like that has gotten into the college level as well?
Well, I think he's going to end up being a receiver there probably, and again he could get moved. But what I would say is playing quarterback, having an understanding of everything that's going on the field, knowing how to get everybody lined up, and just being able to communicate with all the spots and all the positions. I think that's a huge benefit to him. I think he understands football probably a little bit better than he would have if he was just a receiver in high school. So I think all of that is going to be a benefit to him.
His level of play is one thing, but he's also a good kid in general. How do you feel like those characteristics will help him out as well?
I think if you don't have that combination, you're not going to make it very long, So I think when schools are recruiting kids, one, if athletically they don't feel like you can play at that level, that's strike one. But then two, if you get somebody, they're always checking on GPA and grade point and character and those types of things too. So those types of things will, when you get to the very, very top levels, it's a good way to eliminate somebody. And so just the fact that he's gotten here and they're interested in him, I think says all you need to know. That's a guy they would like on their football team and to be a part of their football program.
What will you miss the most, not coaching him, but also has there been an athlete like him that you've ever coached?
Not for me. We had our banquet the other night and we went through all the records that he's going to end up holding as he leaves here. I think he'll go down as one of the best players in our program's history, which is saying quite a bit. We've had a lot of good football players come through here, and he'll be right there at the top.
Number one memory you'll miss here at Mount Carmel?
Definitely the community. Walking down the stadium on a Friday night, it's a different type of feeling. This community is kind of rooted to my love of football. You think about a lot of scenarios, when you're nervous about stuff, and the one thing you can always count on is having people behind you, support, love, and just many more things that come with community. I can walk into the grocery store and talk about the football game last week, and it's a big thing to me to have that.